world full of Uniteds.
It is a magic moment from Heung-min Son!
Cities.
Through to Lucas Moura!
And Rovers.
Harry Kane! Oh, what a goal!
There is only one Hotspur.
It's glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur!
Hello and welcome back to another podcast with One Hotspur Channel. I'm Tobey from _Spurs Center, and today I am joined by Charlie and Bodhi from CB Designs and from Hotspur.opinions, respectively. We're coming to you straight after the 2-0 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers into the top 6. What do we think about the game today? Charlie, we can start with you. Let's start with first half. Let's talk first half first.
Yeah. Well, I only watched the first half, sadly, because I had I need to go before the second half. But for most of the half, it was a pretty boring half, really. We did create a few chances. Kane came really close with a pretty impressive effort. Not even looking at the goal in the 7th minute, and he hit the post. So that was pretty much our biggest chance until Kane finally added to the score sheet. Actually, we were very unlucky though, because I was starting to think it was one of those days because
me too.
Because we they cleared it off the line. Son's shot was saved and then deflected straight into the goalie again. But I don't know if it also happened to you guys where it was showing where Connor Cody kicked it off the line, but then suddenly it went straight back to Kane. So that happened to everyone. So I was just about to stop watching because I need to go, and then Kane scored, which is a relief. But I thought so. There were some very impressive performances today. We'll go on to that later.
I have to say I agree. I think overall we played really solid in first half.
Very solid.
I think it was very solid as well. And just overall, I think second half was probably stronger. But I think we showed some real just mental strength to get through all those chances that just didn't quite make it. And I don't remember if the Kane hitting the post, or was it Kane? Yeah, I think it was Kane hitting the post, and then Dele hitting the post straight after that. I don't remember which half that was in, but I think overall just some mental fortitude.
Second half that was in
the second half. But I think just overall we played well, and scoring right before halftime is always good. And Ryan Mason's halftime team talks seem to be really effective because we always seem to come out stronger in the second half. But Bodhi, we can go to you. What did you think of the first half in general?
Neat, tidy. It was pretty solid. Few weak spots, especially. I feel like Adama really exposed us there. We managed to defend it pretty well, but we definitely struggled a bit with Adama. Dyer had a very good game compared to his others. Tanganga I thought was solid. I'd see him as starting right back, honestly. Alderweireld was good. Yet again, Lloris did nothing wrong. Højbjerg was good. I don't think he deserved man of the match personally. He was definitely solid in my opinion, but wasn't our best player. Lo Celso, worst player on the pitch if you ask me. Didn't think he done much. I see that thing.
Let's unpack that a little bit. I mean, I don't think Gio was the best player on the pitch or anything like that. But I think he had a solid showing today. I mean, he was definitely integral to a lot of the good things that we did. He at least had a build up. I mean, he almost scored. Was unlucky to have Connor Cody cleared off the line on that attempt. But I think saying he was the worst player on the field is harsh.
But you see, it's hard to say he was. I hate in the first half before we scored, I was discussing with my dad. I hate when we have these kind of performances. I mean, that was a performance in the first half. I didn't watch the second one, but where there's no amazing player, but none of them were really bad today. I mean, I wouldn't say anyone was bad today. Everyone was at least average. So it's really hard to say he's the worst player on the pitch. I was not impressed by Gio today, but I will admit in the first half there was 5 or 10 minutes where he did really stand out. He was winning the ball. He had some really good passes towards Son and Kane. But then after that,
sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second. We're getting joined late, a little few minutes later, by Liam from Tottenham Voice. So you can finish, Charlie. I just wanted to introduce Liam.
So he was really fighting for the ball, and he had some great long balls, and he was pretty integral for forming our attacks for those
Yeah.
5-10 minutes. But then by the end of the half, he was starting to lose the ball a lot. I don't know how good he was in the second half, but he just needs to improve with his finishing, passing, and just
I'm just looking at some of the stats from the game, and Los also actually had the most tackles in the match out of any player. So
yeah. As
I
I
mean,
said, he was really
yeah.
winning the
No,
ball a
no,
lot, which is nice
no,
to
but
see.
you've taken out of context here. When I say worst player, that's not me implying he was bad. I think everyone played relatively decent. I just think he played the worst out of all of our players that game.
I think for me, maybe I just have an agenda against him at this point, but I think Dyer was mediocre. I don't think he was any better, or I don't think he was any better than Los also. I think
how you look
he was
at it.
called upon. I think he was called upon like 2 or 3 times, and I think Fabio Silva got past him a couple times and got a couple shots off.
Yeah.
So
it depends how you look at it, because Dyer's interplay, his passing. I mean, he did some really nice passes towards Bale and that. And
yeah.
but the thing is, Wolves didn't create many problems for us, so it looked like Dyer was good. I mean, he was good with his passing and just with his general play in our own half. But I mean, every time Adama and Fabio actually did try something, Dyer was pretty average, and they got past him a few times. So really, defensively, I don't know how many problems Wolves created in the second half, but yeah, I mean, defensively, he's just not a very good centre back, and still, sadly, I think this performance will force Mason to play him in the next game again, and probably not even play Rodon again. Sadly,
I don't understand why Rodon's been dropped just so completely. Like,
I don't.
To some extent, I understand why he's not starting, but to have Davinson Sanchez on the bench over him, I'm almost wondering. I was talking with my dad about this actually. Just maybe Daniel Levy told Ryan Mason that he has to play Dele Alli, Harry Winks, Musa Sissoko, Eric Dyer, Toby Alderweireld, maybe just to raise their transfer value. And I actually understand that to a certain level, because I mean, we're not going to have a lot of money this summer. So if he plays Dyer and Alderweireld, who have both been linked away, that's going to raise their transfer value. Same thing with Dele Alli. Although, to be honest, I mean, after the past few performances, I wouldn't mind keeping Dele.
I agree with that, but I don't. I actually want to keep Ali. I know I've given Ali a lot of stick, but I've always had this slight hope. A lot of fans have given up on him, but I just still think he's an absolutely class player on this day. He's still, his passion might go. Your passion can go away. Your luck can go away, but your talent cannot. And he showed that today with in some moments. It's still far from his best, but he's definitely, some moments really like that when he nutmegged. When he nutmegged, was it Cody, and then got past another player and crossed it into the box.
That was really class.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got it, in my opinion. He just needs to be played consistently. Same with.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, I think Dele, along with Tanguy and Ndombele, are probably two of the most talented players at the club. And for Dele, I mean, it might just come down to he just needs the minutes, which he wasn't getting under Mourinho for a long time. And maybe just finishing the season strong is a good way to get into the next manager's plans. I mean, it's unlikely that he's going to be called up to the Euros at this point. So I think we can just hope that maybe these performances can convince the next manager to keep him and to continue to play him into the next season. And maybe we can see the old Dele back. But
like Charles says, you never lose the talent. But
yeah.
But my only issue with him is that he's been, sometimes he can be so inconsistent, and he's so hit and miss, and it's just a matter of if he gets the confidence, because that's what it is realistically. He came from a lower league all the way to the top division. Obviously, he was feeling confident in himself. He was doing well, and then once he actually got the hype, he just couldn't live up to the rest of it, and then he fell off a little bit. But you never know. I mean, I think once he shaves, then he'll be really fast.
That's all it takes. You just gotta get rid of that mustache. Speaking of Dele, I mean, this isn't really like big for the club or anything. I just wanted to mention it. Did you see that picture of Dele making out with Pep Guardiola's daughter?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? He was in public. He was like making out with Guardiola's daughter. And I mean, like obviously people are making jokes about it now and getting in Pep's head, playing 4D chess. But I mean, I'm sure some listeners don't really want to hear about that. I just thought I'd mention it because I think it's pretty funny. But yeah, I think Liam, anything you want to add on the game?
I was
Oh,
in and out
wasn't-
of the Zara game, so I'll try to do my best for describing that. Okay, I mean, I know we're all talking about like Dele here. I just want him gone. Okay, he's not. I know everybody is saying, "Oh, he's getting back to play time," but he's always trying to flicks and tricks. That's what pisses me off about him so much. He tries way too hard, and then the only thing he's trying to do is just flick past the defender. It's nonsense. Yeah. It is nonsense. I mean, if you're a Premier League player, you shouldn't have to just rely on just trying to flick all the time. It's absolutely absurd why to me he's starting. I get transfer value, as you said, but why are we benching someone like Tengai when
I agree with that. I think Tengai's a better player.
Of course, what the hell's going on with Joe Rodon? Like, he has been completely dropped out of nowhere ever since the Manchester City game. Everybody was saying, oh, it was just for this game because of this situation with Swansea and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think I agree with you going on back to that Dele point. Just I do understand why you're saying like just sell him. Because I mean he has gone through a couple spells where like, oh, this is Dele, like now he's getting back to his best. So I think maybe that's a good point. I mean, there's been some rumors. I mean, I think this is probably far-fetched and it's not going to happen, but some rumors about Jack Grealish maybe wanting to come back or not come back, but to come to Spurs. And so I mean that would be a huge improvement going from Dele to Jack Grealish.
Far-fetched is a bit far-fetched in my opinion, because it's Jonathan Barnett, Bale's agent, who's also Jack Grealish's agent, said that Jack Grealish has been in talks with us. Now, Jonathan Barnett is one of
win the league.
I mean, also defending.
You need center backs.
Yeah,
yes,
Jonathan.
No, obviously you're right, but I'm saying if you bring Skip back into the team, you have Reguilon playing his best, you had Grealish with Son, Kane, and Bale, maybe Dele playing at his best as well, and then you had, a solid centre back, and then even Tanganga a right back if he's doing good enough. You're challenging for the title.
Yeah.
Jonathan Barnett is obviously known as being pretty honest with the media, sometimes a bit too honest, with some of his comments about Bale. But I mean, I just can't imagine it. I mean, Jack Grealish is just such a phenomenal. I talk to my dad a lot about Jack Grealish, and he also agrees with me. Like, he's honestly one of, if not some would even say the best midfielder in the Premier League in the last season. And I mean, his passing, we talk about Kane's. I mean, Kane's been amazing. He's got quite a lot of assists. But I mean, Jack Grealish is just on another level. I mean, imagine having the playmaking abilities of Jack Grealish and the finishing abilities of Kane. Plus, Kane is also a good playmaker. So Son would absolutely love playing with the two. I mean, I just can't imagine it.
Yeah.
It would be by far the deadliest attack in the world, in my opinion. I just can't.
I think especially if we Grealish has played a lot on the wing for Aston Villa. So I think if you get Grealish like on the left side, Kane through the middle, Son on the right, and then maybe like Dembele or someone else in like that attacking midfield role.
When
really dangerous.
My first thought was Son and Kane up top, and then Grealish on the left in a 4-4-2.
Oh, of course you went to a 4-4-2.
You absolutely love your 4-4-2.
No, most of the time we win and we play well, we're playing 4-4-2. I don't know what more you want from me. The stats don't lie.
Yeah,
well,
I guess.
You haven't actually mentioned a stat, to be fair. But I mean, I think going back to like that Jack Grealish point, I think all the teams that are above us in the table right now have a playmaker and a deadly finisher. I mean, you look at Man City, they have De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus or Aguero, and then Man United, they have Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, or Edison Cavani even. Leicester, Jamie Vardy, James Maddison. Chelsea, well, maybe Chelsea doesn't have a lethal finisher at the moment, but they do have some creative players with Hakeem Ziyech, Kai Havertz, even if they're not like on the best of form. Mason Mount. Liverpool, they're loaded with playmakers and goal scorers. They're just not quite firing this season. And then you look at Spurs, and I mean we have Kane who's occupying two roles.
Yeah, I agree with
Well,
this.
okay. Bodhi's just sent a chat message saying that Aguero isn't deadly. He has like the 8th or 7th most amount of Premier League goals in history. So I think
What do you
saying
mean?
he's
Wait. Hold up. How is Aguero not deadly? What are you talking
I
about?
think that is the stupidest comment someone could say. I mean,
No,
you talk.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he's past it. I mean, well, has he been?
Okay.
Has he been playing? Has he been playing this season?
He was injured, mate.
yeah. I mean
I
he
don't
hasn't been
care.
playing a
He
ton this
hasn't
season.
been
I'll give you
scoring
that.
even when he has been playing. He hasn't been scoring. I'm
Uh,
not saying he's a bad attacker. In his prime, he's the best, one of the best of all time for his position. I'm not
Well,
denying that. I'm saying now he's past
yeah,
it.
yeah, all right. Yeah, you can get away with that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. I was about to
going
go
back to
there.
the game
Not gonna
though, there was
lie.
someone else going back to the game though, I wanted to talk about Sergio Reguilon. I think he's been pretty poor the past couple weeks, but I think today I thought he was really like solid.
He was solid. He was solid, definitely. You know, he was the only one that was actually trying to track back when it came to Adama creating any problems. He was the only one that could really stand up to Adama, which was nice to see because I mean, you know, Bodhi mentioned earlier that Adama created some problems, but really he's always created problems, even in the like we've always struggled with him, even when we had class players like Jan Vertonghen, etc. And I mean, he's a very awkward player to play against. He's not been on the best of form last year or so, but I mean, he's got, you know, I would honestly not be against. I mean, we really don't need him, but I always do like some pacey players, and he'd be an interesting buy if we ever got him. But this is
And
off
you didn't
topic.
even see Højbjerg's goal, so you don't know. Like Reguilon played a massive part in that goal.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
That's good.
ball was kind of stuck in the corner, and he like slid through the right back. I forgot his name. And got the ball back, and then played it into Son, and then Son passed to Bale, and Bale shot, and then Højbjerg tapped it in on the rebound. But
Yeah, I really wish Bale scored and
yeah, me
Reguilon.
too.
Reguilon.
It would have been really good for my
amazing.
FPL team too, because I have Bale
Dele
and Son,
had
so it would have got the goal.
You have
Dele
Bale.
Dele played a really good ball into Reguilon, but it was Reguilon didn't anticipate it. So he had to chase. He managed to whoever got the ball, Reguilon put in a slide tackle, and then he put in another one after that, and then won the ball back, megged the right back in the process, and then took the ball and then passed it to Son. Son took a touch, laid it off the Bale. Bale hit it off the post. Was it off the post or Patricio saved it?
Yeah, I think Patricio saved it.
Yeah, and then
Højbjerg had it to happen. Although it was a pretty difficult tap in, to be fair. I think he was getting closed down by a defender, and Patricio still had majority of the goal covered up.
Wasn't really. He was in the right place at the right time. It doesn't matter what player it is. You would have your money on them scoring, and no matter how difficult it was.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to think if there's any other players that I really wanted to talk about. I think Højbjerg had another solid showing. Oh, I didn't even realize Højbjerg had a goal and an assist this game.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
can
funny.
we talk about his assist? I mean, that was a phenomenal.
That was a brilliant pass. I think
perfectly
Højbjerg's
laid on for Kane. That.
I think Højbjerg might have the most goals and assists out of any of our midfielders, which is kind of funny.
No. And Dombele, surely.
Dombele has 5, and Højbjerg has 6. Højbjerg has 4 assists and 2 goals. Dombele has 3 goals and 2 assists.
Oh, interesting.
That's funny.
But what didn't
Gio's
Dombele
1
not
and 1.
score? But you're talking about Premier League.
I'm talking about just Premier League. Yeah, just Premier League.
Yeah, all right.
Dombele has like those couple FA Cup goals, which probably pushes him over.
Yeah.
And I don't think Højbjerg scored in any other competition. But yeah, I think Højbjerg's been a brilliant signing. Well done, Levy, I guess is all I have to say on that. But yeah, I think we've just about talked about everyone. I think we mentioned Tanganga a little bit. I thought he was excellent today. Didn't have much to do. Didn't have a lot going forward, but kept them at bay defensively and had a couple of good blocks. So yeah, I'd say overall it was a solid showing from him. Anything else anyone wants to add before we?
I also wanted to mention Tobey Alderweireld. He was pretty good as well. I mean,
yeah,
pretty decent showing from him. He's pretty vital for attacking play with his long balls. I mean, none of them really worked out, but still.
Yeah, it's a constant danger, which is just always good to have. Sorry, I actually just thought of this while we were talking, but I thought Lloris played well today. I mean, he didn't have a ton to do, but
no.
I don't see any need for us to replace him during the summer.
No, neither do I. We were actually hating on him so much. I mean, not, but quite a few of us were criticizing him a lot, and it's nice to see his comeback. Definitely, nice to see. Yeah.
Alrighty. Anything else anyone wants to add?
I'll
take that as a no.
Nothing.
All right. Well,
there's one thing I want to say. If Ryan Mason is subconsciously not playing Rodin and Ndombele just because of bias and he needs to leave.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that as well.
It seems like he really is like favoring the people that have been at the club longer, which is interesting. But like I said, I do think there's an element of Levy told them to try to play Sissoko, Winks, Dyer, Alderweireld, maybe even bringing Sanchez into the matchday squads to just try to raise their transfer value so we can offload a few of them over the summer.
I completely agree. I really hope that's the case, but if not, then we've got a serious problem.
I mean, no, we don't have a serious problem because Mason will not stay. Let's be honest. He's an interim coach, and we really shouldn't give him that much stick. He was put into the role. It's disappointing he's not playing Ndombele, but at the end of the day, we'll have a new manager and hopefully a good manager who isn't Scott Parker or Potter next season. And
I actually wouldn't mind Potter. I'll be honest. I was watching the Brighton West Ham game the other day. They drew 1-1, and I was pretty impressed by by Brighton.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. It's not about his play style. I actually really like his play style.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about just his play style. Like, I think every top manager we've talked to doesn't want to come. I think none of like the really proven managers wants to deal with Daniel Levy. But just looking at Potter's Brighton, I think if Kane, Son, and Ndombele were in his team instead of Welbeck, Trossard, and Adam Lallana, they could have won that game 3 or 4-0. Maybe 3 or 4-1, I guess.
Look, I've been saying this whole season. West Ham has been getting away with results this season. They're not even that good. I mean, they've better than us this season. Don't get me wrong.
They've been unlucky. If anything, they should have more points.
No, Charles coming out with the madness.
No. But all the teams, a lot of the teams, even the lower teams, dominate possession against. No, I love Lingard, and it's not about Lingard. It's just like
no.
Players like Dawson
you disrespect West Ham. You disrespect his name. You can't be disrespecting West Ham. They're better than Tottenham. Let's be real. They're in a higher place. It speaks for itself.
Not anymore. Right. Tottenham are ahead of West Ham.
Yeah, are we?
We are.
Yeah,
we just passed them today.
Yeah, I can read that. Okay,
on goal differential, but
fair enough. I guess Lingardinho couldn't do enough to say.
Actually, speaking of the table, West Brom are currently tied with Liverpool 1-1. So if that result holds, we would only be 2 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, but Salah scored, which really annoyed me. Why can't Kane just win that golden
tied, huh? Imagine Kane scored 7 goals in his last 2 games, like he did in the I think it was the 16-17 season.
I mean, he could do. I mean, Aston Villa were pretty poor in their last game against Palace.
Yeah, they lost 3-2 this morning.
Yeah, it was.
I think that just about covers the game though, and the table. But let's get into some transfer rumors. It seems like Joaquin Anderson, like the rumors are really heating up that we could take in the summer. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
He'd be a great signing. He'd be an absolute. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, can you say who? I didn't hear it.
Oh yeah, Joaquin Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Fulham.
Well, I've heard some players. I've heard some Spurs fans saying that he would be our Van Dijk, and that's a bit far fetched. Don't get me wrong. But I do think he's a good player. It's a risk because I mean he did play in a Fulham team which pretty much had the second worst defense in the league. But at the same time, it's really not down to one player. And I did watch him at Lyon when he was at Lyon, and I really do think he's got the qualities that we really need.
Yeah.
He's got the strength, height, speed. He's actually pretty similar to Roden in that
You know what
regard.
I think the best thing about him is the fact that 20 million euros, right? That's cheap enough. Might I remind you, Southampton wanted 25 million euros for Wavia, and he managed to haggle it down to about 12 million euros. You could think about how cheap could Daniel Levy get it for Joachim Anderson. Like 20 million in itself is a great deal for him. But I mean, if you can get it down to 50, the same as Wavia was, then fair play Levy. That'd be a signing I'd really get behind. Also,
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, we would also need another really good centre back. You know, like Skriniar or someone like that. We can need someone who
I think
that's
unlikely to happen. But I just want to say before we move on to any other player, I think there's been a lot of fans that have been turning their nose up at Joaquin Anderson, saying, "Oh, he's from Fulham. They had such a poor year, and if we want to be a big club, we have to sign big players and all that." But I honestly think like you can't turn your nose up too much at players like this. I mean, Leicester. If you look at Leicester's team, they have done an excellent job in recruitment. I mean, Kaglar Soyuncu, I think he's been good for them this season, and they signed him from Freiburg, which does not typically produce huge talents. They signed Wesley Fofana, who I'm sure our fans would have been upset about, from Saint Etienne. So I think overall, we have to try to trust some of our recruitment team. I know we're not all huge fans of Steve Hitchen, but
no, I'm not gonna lie, right? I refuse to trust any of them because you signed.
Let me finish.
No, just one sec. You signed Davinson Sanchez for the equivalent. Man. You signed Davinson Sanchez for the equivalent fee of Van Dijk to Liverpool. Because
that's not true. That is false.
Liverpool paid 70 million for Davinson.
There was not that much inflation in like 2 years, Bodhi.
You have to understand the economy. It was different back then.
The economy did not change that much in 2 years to where 30 million pounds to 70 million pounds is the same.
Bodhi, you're getting
ahead
of yourself. Because Davinson Sanchez was one of the when we actually signed him, and his first he was brilliant the first season, and also Davinson Sanchez was regarded as one of the most talented centre backs in the world. He was like today's Upamecano or even better. So please don't give me that. Yes, he's dropped off in form, but not now. But yes, but you can't predict if a player's going to bottle his future, mate.
For Davinson Sanchez. Be honest, would you?
A lot can happen in 2 years, mate.
No, it just does not work.
Anyhow, what I was saying was, to be fair, Steve Hitchen has found quite a few talented players that Pochettino himself turned down. Yuri Tielemans is an excellent example of that. I mean,
Poch turned down Tielemans. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I think it was Paul O'Keefe said that. But I think overall, through the years, we've been linked with some pretty good players who either Levy or Poch has turned down. So I don't know. I think Joaquin Anderson could be a real player. But here, Liam, what do you think about Anderson?
Anderson, I mean, to me, he's an okay center back, but I mean, yes, I do want to trust the process a little bit and go towards the route Leicester did, but at the same time, like, I feel like with the history that we have and like the image we have as a club, I mean, we should. I mean, if reports are true and people are saying that we're one of like the 10th richest club in the world,
That's a fair point.
I would say freaking splash the cash on a well-known center back and not just someone like 20 million. But
also,
I mean,
what I wanted to keep going.
But I mean, I know we're in rumors with Jerome Boateng, which I would be over the moon with that signing.
I agree with this.
Because
Jerome,
I mean, you look at center backs throughout the world, Jerome Boateng has been up there as one of the best in the world for many, many years lately, and he is that rock in Bayern's defense. He would control the tempo up there. He couldn't control the pace. And if we got him on a free, that's a good point. So much. I tell people that he's one of the best, and they call me an idiot. And then they're like, okay. Another thing about our fan base, and I've realized is the transfers, is that a lot of people are so unrealistic in their transfers. Yes, we've horrible deals go through. I mean, we should have gotten Dybala a couple of years ago. Bernier, we almost signed Ruben Diaz, Bruno Fernandes. Like,
that's another good point of our scouting doing well.
The list just goes on and on. But even though, like, I'm still hurt to those signings, like, so ridiculous. But as a club, I think we need to shoot for players that are in that 35 to 45 mil range, because we need experience. We can't just rely on like these up and coming youngsters, because we don't really know. Because like, even if you are at a different Premier League club, that doesn't mean you're going to succeed at
that's true.
But the style also has to fit your play style. So that's why I don't think Anderson would be a good fit for Spurs. But I mean, I'd be happy with the signing. Don't get me wrong. But
I see what you mean.
On it.
I think overall Anderson would be. I think he's definitely better than what we have. But maybe, like you're saying, like maybe we shouldn't just be going for players that are like better than what we have. We should be going for world-class players. But like I said, I do think there's an element of just having to trust our scouting network a bit. And like you said, we identified Milan Skriniar, Ruben Diaz, Bruno Fernandes, all in the past year as players that we should sign. And Levy couldn't get it over the line. So I think it's always going to come back to what's the cheap option while Enick is in charge. But there's also been some rumors with Milinkovic.
Dortmund's a big enough club.
Well, I mean, if we're the 8th richest club in the world or whatever it is, we should be able to splash the cash on, like Liam was saying.
It's not the club that's rich. It's the owner that's rich.
No, that's not true though.
No. It said it's the club. The club is the 10th richest in the world, or 8th richest, or something like that.
No, but when you say the club's the richest, it means that's how much it's worth. Not, you can't just take money out of the actual club and spend it. That's money towards growing the club.
Well, I mean, there's definitely an element of the assets that Spurs have, but it's based off of. I think it's mostly based off of the revenue. I just did a quick Google search, and as of January 14th of 2020, Spurs had 3rd richest club in England with $791.2 million dollars. Sorry, I should convert that to pounds, but that's a lot of money. And I mean, that summer we spent a little less than 60 million of that. So yes, that's the equivalent of 500 million pounds.
It's just a shame. Rumored with all these same players that United and City and all big name teams are linked with, but at the end of the day, it ends up going. The ones who end up putting over the line are the actually good teams. So
we're about an outgoing. Looks like Serge Aurier could be on his way to PSG this summer. Would you be happy with that?
See you later.
I'm feeling pretty similar. Yeah, I feel pretty similar about it. Although I am concerned that we're not going to replace him. I think Levy is hoping that Tanganga and Doherty could be our right backs for next season.
Tanganga in that one game was already better than Aurier was in his past few.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I'm hoping Doherty can hit some form next season. I think he is a good player. He's not fantastic or world class, but he is good.
I think he was one of the best in the league when he was at Wolves. I just don't think he suits Spurs' style of play.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
agree
the
with that.
problem. He's too limited with his with the tactics. He's just not made for. He just doesn't give the manager enough choice when it comes to play styles, and I mean we've seen that. I mean the only way that he works well is an overlapping five at the back, wing back basically, and that's not good enough.
That doesn't make him any less of a player.
But it does, because I mean this. Yeah,
but it doesn't, because if you play him,
no. I'm sorry, but there's a difference between not suiting a play style and not being able to shoot, pass, or defend. He can't do anything for us. He has not been good at passing, shooting, defend. He can't defend for his life this season. You know, there's a difference between not shooting a play style and forgetting how to play football. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
there is an element of he doesn't fit Spurs system as well as he fit Wolves, because the season before we signed him from Wolves, he created the second most chances out of any right back in the league. He was solid defensively. So, or not, maybe not solid. He didn't have to do as much defending because he had more like attacking freedom. But I think overall, he's been unlucky, and I think this is a recruitment issue. Why did we sign Doherty if we weren't going to play five at the back? Because right wing back and right back, although they seem like they're pretty similar, they are quite different.
I do agree with that as well.
No, but to see the thing is, right, this is the vibe I'm getting. I think Jose's plan at first was to sign Doherty to play a five at the back, for the reasoning of him playing, 3-4-3, and 5-5-2-3, and just formations like with five at the back. That's why he signed Doherty, because he wanted to play him to his strengths. But then once he realized how shit his defenders are, he couldn't do that anymore. So it was just a sense.
Good point.
If he had a good defense, then I think he would have stuck with the five at the back, and he would have been playing Reguilon and Doherty consistently. See, the whole reason he signed the two of them, right? Reguilon, when he was at, I believe it was Villarreal, or whatever it was.
Sevilla.
He played in a five at the back. Doherty played in a five at the back. Sessegnong's been playing a five at the back at Hoffenheim. Why else did he go to Hoffenheim? Because they play a five at the back.
That's not entirely true. I mean, I do see what you're saying. That does make quite a bit of sense. But from what I'd heard over last summer, they were just looking for any club that would play him as a left back or a left wing back, and because most clubs that were looking to loan him wanted to play him as a left winger, and Mourinho saw him as more of a left back, and that's why he went to Hoffenheim instead of a Premier League team. And this season, he's been playing both left back and left wing back pretty equally, if not more, as a left back. So, although I am looking forward to him coming back next year, I'm really excited to see Sessegnon. Hopefully, he stays.
I have a feeling that Sessegnong's going to play more games than Reguilon.
Oh wow,
that's controversial.
Not because I think Sessegnong's better, but I just have a feeling that whoever gets appointed will end up playing Sessegnong more.
I mean,
hopefully, there's not like an English bias. Well, I mean, Sessegnon at the beginning of the season will likely be getting a lot of the Europa League games, or God forsaken Conference League games, if that's what we end up going into. But yeah, I think overall, Sessegnon's going to get a lot of game time, because Europa League next year, I think watching Leicester win the FA Cup yesterday was in a way like a bit of a slap in the face. Like,
I
Tottenham. I mean, I'm super happy for Leicester. I have a couple good friends of mine who are Leicester fans, and I was happy for them. But I think it just shows us like we seem to have had like this thing over the past few years of, oh, well, we got top four and that's better than winning an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup. I think we need to change that mentality a bit of winning trophies is important. I mean, the game is about glory. And I think next season we have to go all in the Europa League, and I know that's what we said this season, but I mean, I don't think we should go into any game starting with weaker players, like especially when we get to the knockouts. I mean, group stage, I totally get it, but especially second leg of knockouts, we need to be like sure that we're playing
Yeah,
the good
after
team.
that
Because I mean,
Zagreb game, yeah,
yeah,
I'm not
looking
taking
at our
any
lineup,
risks.
we started Davis, Dyer, Sanchez, Aurier, Sissoko, Winks, Mora, Dele, and Lamela, who were all at the time second string players, and then Kane and Lloris also started. So I think we definitely need to be taking these games more seriously, and especially second league games or games that are like we're either into
That's
the next
actually a
round or we're out.
mistake that not just Jose but Poch used to make as well.
Well,
Well,
It's been a
because Poch was told to
consistent.
Zagreb's a
prioritize
weak
league.
team.
Yeah,
Zagreb's a weak team. You would play our second team expecting to win that. So the fact that
Mhm.
we didn't win that is appalling. But
Yeah.
it's, you would look at that Tottenham team, even the second team, and you'd think you'd fancy Spurs to win with a couple few goals. So I feel like that's not really
Mhm.
Jose's fault. It's just the players playing terribly.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an element of, though, that's Jose's fault, because I mean, some of these players hadn't played for weeks, or had played a couple minutes here and there, and then I think he also made some interesting calls that game, like taking off Lamela and Lucas, who I thought were probably two of our best players. So yeah, I think overall we just need to take those games more seriously. And there's rumors that the reason Jose got sacked was not just because of the league position, but because he was planning to rest some of our better players against Southampton the midweek before the Carabao Cup final, and we
Wait, are you
wanted him to
kidding me?
focus. No,
What
I
the
am not.
hell?
There were some rumors about that because Mourinho wanted to be able to go full strength in the final, and Levy wanted to prioritize.
And then we lost the final. How ironic. Levy
Well,
really cared
because
for
the
that.
interesting thing is we've always said this: the game is about glory. And Enoch, or Enoch, sorry, however you say it. It's profit over glory every time. And sorry, I'm just looking it up real quick. How much does the winner of the Carabao Cup get? And it's minimal. League Cup winners receive £100,000 of prize money. The runners up receive £50,000. So that is chump change to Enoch. So there's really no point. And then the difference between, say, 6th or 7th in the Premier League is a lot higher than that. So I think that's really what it came down to. Is
That's an interesting observation. That pretty disappointing. But yeah.
But yeah, I think anything you guys want to add on any of that, or should we talk about another transfer rumor?
I don't really have much.
I was looking. I don't think there's been a ton of new transfer rumors. Oh, Nikola Milinkovic from Fiorentina has also been a player that's linked with Spurs.
He's a great player. Fiorentina fans have been saying he's been really poor lately because his head is somewhere else. But still, I think he would be a great signing. He's Serbian, so I live in Montenegro, right next to Serbia, and he's definitely. And I watch a few Serbian games. He's definitely, he's really tall. He's a great defender. Really, he'd be a good replacement for someone like Jan Vertonghen. Yeah, he's definitely one for the future. And
I know this is controversial and all, but I kind of get the vibe that he would be a flop if he signed.
Really?
Yeah, I
think it would be.
I agree with
really
that.
good bit of
I'm
business
not
if we were able to
sure
bring
if
Milinkovic.
he'd be good.
Personally, I haven't watched him, so I can't really properly judge him on how good he is. But I just have a feeling that he wouldn't do it at Spurs.
Sorry, just going on the last thing I was saying. In the 2018-2019 season, there was an average of 2 million difference between clubs. Like fifth may have gotten like 140 million, and then sixth would have gotten like 138. So that's quite substantially more than what the winners of the Carabao Cup would receive.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd just throw that out there. But
very good observation.
back on Milinkovic, I haven't really watched him either. I'm trying actually to watch a little bit more of other leagues, but I think overall, from what I've heard about him, and Fiorentina fans seem to be really happy with him, and a lot of Spurs fans seem to be really excited about the rumors with him. So I'd say if we could bring in Milinkovic, who is someone who's like pretty promising, he's a leader from what I've heard, and if we could bring in him and then also bring in Anderson, who is Premier League proven to an extent, and is also a leader. He captained Fulham a lot this season. So I think if we could bring in the both of them, that would be a really solid summer. And then also bring in a right back to replace Aurier, maybe. We'll see how Tanganga does the rest of the season. And with Enoch in charge, they'll try to not sign a player if they don't have to. But
personally, I would only sell Dye and Sanchez and then bring in Anderson and like Boateng or something. That would be ideal for me personally.
Yeah.
I personally think the right back spot is actually weaker than the centre back. I know that's going to get a lot of people like whoa, but so some of the things.
For me, I think the right
that's
back
an
spot is just
interesting.
more inconsistent.
No,
Yeah.
actually, I agree. I agree. I think right back is definitely more inconsistent. It can be good and it can be terrible. Because Aurier is inconsistent, but
Yeah.
I think the defense overall. You're right. I think the defense overall is a little more. It's I think they're pretty similar, but I think I feel like the right back spot is a little worse because of its inconsistency.
Yeah, I definitely think like overall, we have to prioritize signings, center back and right back. I mean, even if Jack Grealish became available this summer, I think we have to focus on signing at least one center back and a right back if Serge leaves. Preferably Serge leaves and we sign a new right back. Emerson Royal from Real Betis / Barcelona has been a player that we've been linked with quite a bit in the past
You absolutely love
week and a
him.
half. I do. I'm a big fan. I think I've watched him a few times. He's been pretty impressive. He plays in a back four, so he'd suit our system. He's quite young and he's going for 20 million euros. So I think that would be a really solid signing, to be honest. I mean, that's cheaper than what we got Serge Aurier for. So I think it would be an improvement. He's cheaper. We'd be able to sell Serge. Looks like we're selling Serge for like 12 million. So it would only be, I'm not sure quite what the like ratio is of pounds and sterling, but looks like it would probably be like somewhere between 6 to 8 million pounds, like that Enoch would have to invest. So I think overall it'd be a really solid signing, like I said, and it improves us. So might as well go for it.
Another thing I could see happening is that they whoever comes in manager turns Tanganga into a right back, sell Dye and Sanchez, sign a really really good centre back, and then sign a right back. And then only sign one centre back and then a right back, and just and then for the most part utilize who we have.
I mean, yeah, I think the next manager will use Rodon more than Ryan Mason is for whatever reason. Mason isn't using him, but I think Rodon has a really bright future, and I think Tanganga does as well. If we want Tanganga to be a right back, though, I honestly think we should send him on loan to a team maybe like Brighton or a team. And Brighton actually already have a pretty good right back in Tariq Lamptey.
A few months ago, I said that to you, and you were like,
yeah, I disagreed. I know, I've changed my mind. But I think if we really want Tanganga to be a right back, I think he needs to develop more in that position. I think defensively he's solid and he's really good, but offensively I think he has a lot to learn. So if he could go to a club like Crystal Palace maybe, or just a team who's maybe lower in the table where he'll get consistent minutes, but also a team who likes to play attacking football, so he can get he can learn a lot there. I think Brighton, if they sell Tariq Lamptey, could be a really good destination for him this summer. But not Burnley. I think Burnley, he wouldn't learn anything there because they don't attack with their wing backs as much. But Leeds, if for whatever reason they lose a right back, even Wolves, I think, but they have Semedo. So
Leeds and Brighton would be ideal, to be honest.
I think Leeds, Brighton, even Aston Villa or Crystal Palace. I think one of those four would be like a really, really good place for him to learn. Or if Bournemouth win like the championship qualification thing, I think that would be another good place for him to go. Norwich, if they sell Max Aarons, even I think that would be another interesting place for him to go because I mean they like to play attacking football. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to add on. on him, but I think that might just about round out the transfer rumors.
Yeah.
So this weekend or this coming weekend, or actually no, sorry, on Wednesday, we play Aston Villa, who has Jack Grealish back. How are we feeling going into this one? Yeah, of course.
Of course, they have him
wouldn't bet.
back right against us. I mean, that's such a Spurs. Whatever. We move. But yeah, I mean that changes everything. If we get, I mean, the Villa is a totally different team with him. I mean, I think they depend more on him than we depend on Kane, which is a bold statement, but I think it's true.
I have to say I agree with that.
So yeah, I mean, I think we will get the win just purely because Villa has absolutely nothing to play for. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, looking at table position, Villa is currently 4 points off of Leeds in 10th and 4 points clear of Wolves in 12th.
But to be fair, right, I'm pretty sure how it works is the higher you finish in the table, the more funds you earn. So I guess they would.
Obviously.
Yeah, but I guess they would also be playing for the sense that they would want more money for the transfer window so they could get more.
Yeah. Like I was just saying, though, is they're 4 points behind Leeds, and so if Leeds wins one game, then there's nothing to worry. And then they can't catch them, and Wolves plays Everton next and Man United, so it's unlikely that Wolves are going to catch them. So I mean, they don't have a ton to play for. I mean, I guess they could just be hoping that Leeds drops points against either Southampton or West Brom, who both have not much to play for either. I guess Southampton actually has something to play for. West Brom doesn't, although they did just tie with Liverpool, or they still have a couple minutes left. Hopefully they hold on to that. Hopefully Liverpool don't score.
Wait! There's only a few minutes left. Oh my god.
Yeah,
we
just
could
about
actually
2 minutes.
Wait! If Liverpool draw, how far behind are we?
We'll be 2 points behind Liverpool and 5 points behind Chelsea. And if okay, I don't think we're gonna do it.
Wait, does this mean that top 4 is actually still possible? I didn't even know it was possible.
It's mathematically possible. It's mathematically improbable. But
very interesting.
Chelsea plays Leicester next, and Leicester just beat them in the FA Cup final. So if Leicester can just do that again, beat Chelsea, then Chelsea plays Aston Villa, who are back with Jack Grealish, hopefully build on form, don't beat us, hopefully. And then we are able to win our last 2 games. I mean, we just have to do that. Then and Chelsea draw with Aston Villa and lose to Leicester, then we would jump ahead of Chelsea on goal difference, and Liverpool would have to either draw or lose to either Burnley or Crystal Palace. Likelihood is it'll happen against Crystal Palace. And then we would be in top 4.
Imagine if Chelsea's season dismantled so much that they went from being FA Cup finalists to definitely top 4 and Champions League finalists to losing the FA Cup, not getting top 4 and not winning Champions League. That would be absolutely amazing.
That would be quite funny. Oh, that's another interesting point is if we get top 4 and Chelsea drops out, which is unlikely, and then Chelsea wins the Champions League, that'd be like a repeat of like the what was it, like the 12-13 season, 11-12 season?
You know what though?
I wasn't even
let Bodhi finish.
I hope we don't make Champions League because just for the reason that Daniel Levy will use as an excuse. He'll paper over the cracks and he won't make the signings we need because he'll think
that's a great point.
This team's still good enough to make top 4. I don't need to spend the money.
Yeah.
But he's not stupid though. He's
not stupid, but he'll use it as an excuse not to spend money.
He's not stupid, but he is money hungry. So if he thinks that we can get top 4 again next season without any investment, he'll do it.
But he wouldn't think that though. He'd know that we got it luckily.
No, that is exactly what he will do.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Right. I'm trying to find a way that he wouldn't, but you're probably right. Yeah.
Bodhi has got major points right there. Mm-hmm. He's dying in the back.
Mm-hmm. And I think another good point is actually, hold on. I'm going to do some Google research really quickly. Bodhi, you have another controversial opinion you want to throw out really quickly so I can do this?
I still think we should sign St. Maximin.
I mean, that's not controversial though. He's a good.
I mean, it might be a little controversial.
Is it? Why?
He's
a great
quite
player.
good player.
I think Sanchez is better than Dyer.
That's not controversial either, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. Actually, I think that's
Oh, I
tricky.
got one.
Allison Becker just scored.
What?
Allison Becker?
Allison Becker just scored a header off a freaking final play.
No.
Are you bloody kidding me?
Oh.
Allison Becker.
I think Davies is better
Allison
than
Becker.
Reguilon.
He's joking.
Oh.
I'm not.
No. Oh my God,
Offsides,
Alison
handball,
bloody
VAR, come
Becker.
on.
Oh my God. Alison Becker just scored a 90+5 header.
Come on. VAR,
the hell?
please.
No. No.
Oh my God.
This can't be serious. This cannot be serious. This cannot be serious.
Come on, VAR.
This can't.
There's got to be
no.
something wrong. A foul, a push, high kick.
Shut up.
That's a
This has to be
brilliant
it.
header, though.
Okay, everyone's onside. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that goal.
That's a
West Brom,
brilliant
what are you?
header.
There's no one marking him. There's literally no one marking him.
Well, why would you mark a goalkeeper, to be fair?
Because he's tall as heck. Oh, that's
That's
unfortunate.
insane. That is insane.
That's
I don't know what to say.
There's gonna be memes now about how like Alison Becker has scored more goals than Dele Alli this season. I already see it coming. Anyhow, yeah, okay. I think that just about sums it up. Spurs first season. That okay.
No
if there was any
way.
chance of Premier League or Champions League next season, that definitely ended it. So
That's annoying.
in any case, I think that's just about it. Anything anyone wants to add before we wrap it up?
Not really.
Davies is
All
better
right.
than Reguilon.
Oh boy, I'm not even going to get into that. Thank you for
I'm
listening.
joking.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. All right, this has been the One Hotspur podcast. We appreciate you listening. Yeah, we'll see you next weekend, or yeah, probably next weekend. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
I wasn't joking.